have a million t-shirts up. From dawn until dusk.
It's like walking across the... I'm aware that this year is supposed to be really difficult, but...
Hello everyone! This week is going to be a chaotic, busy, scheduled week in my life where today is Sunday. I'm taking you all the way through Friday. Today we're doing kind of a reset day. I'm going on a long run. And then this week you're gonna see me going to clinicals at a hospital. You're gonna see all my commuting time. You're gonna see my gym routine. You're gonna see me going to classes, doing my job, and everything that I do as a busy master's student at the University of Alabama. I'm having a great time. I'm also stressed. You're gonna come along with me and it's gonna be a great week. So yeah, now let's go back to my run this morning. Good morning everyone. I am on my long run right now, going 8 miles today, as I have been the past few weeks on a Sunday. I'm really excited for this week because this week is my last week of clinicals. And oh my gosh, do I need a break. I am so tired and just stressed and overwhelmed. And I feel like I haven't been getting enough sleep, but I'm gonna take y'all through one more chaotic week of this semester. So I think it'll be fun. You can see there's Denny chimes in the background. Hey Denny. I'm walking next to the quad, running next to the quad. And yeah, today's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna finish my run. I'm only about, I don't know, 2.5 miles in right now. So I'll update you later in the run. Here's my other home where all my professors have their offices. Hey Russell. The shade is about to end and the sun is about to be in my eyes so bad. And to your left, you'll see a beautiful frat lawn getting watered, of which we'll have to run through this sprinkler. It honestly feels so good outside today. Like there's such a nice breeze and like you can tell that fall is coming. And who knows, in Alabama, usually the weather is going like up and down like crazy. So it'll probably get hot again this week, but like this run is feeling really nice. And I don't know if you heard my watch beep right now, but that was 4 miles. So we're halfway done. Okay guys, I got back from my run and I took a shower, I ate some breakfast, and now it's a little later than I was wanting it to be. I think it's around like 10 now. But basically what's on tap for today is number one, I need to clean this living room and kitchen, and I will show you guys what that looks like in a minute, but that needs to be cleaned. And then also I need to do some laundry, some little chores. And then the number one thing that I have to do today is I need to finish my case study. And I will tell you all more about this in depth about like what my case study is, what we're doing. But it is due tomorrow night and I have to do a 3-page literature review, which is not bad at all. And then I have to finish up some other things about it. So it's gonna be a big working day, a big research day. We're gonna get it done. It's gonna be awesome. And yeah, so let's get to it. Okay, first, let's do some laundry. I desperately need to wash all my clothes. Mainly, I feel like the reason that I need to do laundry so constantly, because I have a million t-shirts, I have 1,000,001 shorts, but it's just my running clothes, like my athletic clothes, and I have to wash my scrubs, obviously. But I need to do all this laundry before this week. And also, oh my gosh, okay, I need to put laundry detergent on my grocery list because I'm almost out of that. I'm gonna go to the grocery store before lunch today because obviously we need to get food for the week. So that is also on our to-do list. But right now, just putting this in. And this is the kind that I use because my mom uses this kind. It's the Tide Downy April Fresh. I've never tried any other ones, but this one smells really good. So I like this one, but it's almost out. I also never know how much to put in here because some people say that it's like a scam and you only need a little bit, but I don't know. I just put like maybe like 1/3 of the cap. And since we're on laundry, I washed my towels yesterday, but I still need to fold them, so I'm gonna do that now. Honestly, the living room looks like the biggest mess ever right now, and it usually doesn't because my roommate is really clean and really tidy, and I do appreciate that. I am definitely not a clean and tidy person. Well, I'm a clean person, but I'm also a messy person, okay? And messy and dirty are not the same thing. So I leave a lot of things out everywhere and my roommate does not. And so living with her has made me really have to work on, you know, cleaning up after myself constantly all the time, which is a good thing because I'm obviously like an adult and I need to learn how to do that. But before she comes home today, I need to basically get this place into ship shape and make it look like nobody lives here again. So that is definitely on the to-do list. But I should have until tonight, I think, to do that. But we'll see whenever we get to that. I think I'm gonna finish doing this. I need to start finding articles for the literature portion, the literature review portion of my case study, because that's really important. And again, that's due like just tomorrow night. Also, we've gotten quite a minute into this video, so if you don't know me, my name is Victoria, and I study food and nutrition at the University of Alabama. That was my major, and my undergrad was food and nutrition, and so I just graduated with my bachelor's degree in the spring, and now I'm finishing my accelerated master's degree, which I started during my senior year of college. I'm finishing that accelerated master's degree this year, so by the end of this spring, I'll be graduating with my master's degree, and I will have finished my 1,000 supervised practice hours with my coordinated program in dietetics. So not only will I be graduating with my bachelor's degree, but I will also be able to sit for the RD exam, the registered dietitian exam, which is what I want to be. I want to be a registered dietitian. And so right now, what I'm doing is I'm working in the hospitals as a dietetic intern, which has been really cool. And this is my last week, so I've gotten like 6 weeks of experience so far. And it's been super helpful, and honestly super proud of myself for how good I've been doing. I'll get into more talking about that when we actually get there. You'll see me in my scrubs later this week. But for now, this laundry is officially folded. I'm gonna put it up, and then we're gonna sit on the couch and do some work. So here's the state of the living room. For me, this is not bad at all. For my roommate, I think that she would die and have a heart attack. So I'm going to clean this up. And now it's all clean and all finished and all sparkly and all good. And I unloaded the dishwasher and the apartment is all ready to go for this week of school. Okay guys, I have been sitting in bed for like 2 to 3 hours now working on this case study, basically researching, pulling up the articles, writing it all out. And I have finally finished the 3 pages that I need. I had to look up just basically a bunch of different things: COPD, lung cancer, small intestine cancer, different things like that, and then talk about how to treat the different kinds. And it kind of goes with like the patient that I'm doing for my like mock case study situation. So yes, it has taken me a long time, but it's quicker than I thought that it was going to be, and I was concerned doing multiple different basically conditions, but it's okay. And so now I've gotten this done. I'm having a great Sunday, just working away. Just love it. Just love to spend my time like working on my computer. I actually hate it, if you couldn't tell. But yes, it's looking gorgeous. It's looking beautiful. And so my plan now is I'm gonna go to lunch, and then I gotta go to the grocery store. But yeah, now like after finishing this, I'm now gonna have to make this all into a PowerPoint presentation, and y'all will probably see me practicing said PowerPoint presentation at some point in this vlog. So now that I'm done, I'm gonna go and get some lunch. Let's go to the grocery store. Good morning, guys. It is Monday. I know that this scene looks exactly like what I was doing yesterday afternoon. Basically, yesterday afternoon, I finished the literature review portion, and then for the rest of the night, I basically worked on the actual case report portion where I talk about the patient and all the different things, and I did not get finished with that. So this morning, I woke up at like 6, and I've just been working for like 2 hours since then. I have 2 more hours till class, so I'm going to keep working on it. Usually Monday mornings, I go to the gym and I go for a run, and so I'm kind of sad that I'm not going to be able to do that today, especially because if I don't get this finished now, then I'm going to have to do it tonight after I get home from work. So I'm going to try to bust out as much of this as I can. I'm going to see my professor in office hours, so we're getting to campus early today, and hopefully I can get some good feedback. I know that this is so last minute, but I swear I started work on this assignment the second that we got it 2 weeks ago, but it's just like our major case study, and oh my gosh, it's taking a lot of time. So I'm doing the best that I can. I'm going to try to finish it up, and then I'm going to have to get ready for class really quick in the next hour or two, and then we're gonna head to campus early, like I said, to go see my professor. So yeah, good Monday morning. Holy camole, guys. I feel absolutely fried. I am in my tutoring room. This is my work. I already went 2 classes for the day. And guess what I did during those classes? I worked on my case study. I worked on my final case study. Guess what I've been doing on my off time during tutoring? I've been working on my case study. It's driving me crazy. But I'm almost done. Like, I'm basically done. I just have to like read through it and finish up a couple citations, but it is making me feel like so stressed. And it's making me feel so stressed. Like it's so stressful. And I don't even know if I explained it well, and I'll go ahead and explain it now because like, Lord knows I don't want to later. Basically, at my clinicals at my hospital, I had to pick a patient to do a case study based off of. I basically had to do a 3-page literature review all about the diagnoses that he has and how they relate to like nutrition. And then I had to make a whole case report about when they came into the hospital, what they were doing there, what happened when they were at the hospital, how I spoke to them, how I assessed them for malnutrition. Literally anything that you can think of, I had to write about it, and I had to find sources about it. And it has just taken me like 1.5 million years, like seriously. So I'm like stressed and tired and like ready to get it over with. And it's also frustrating because today in classes, half the girls in our group are doing food service. So they don't even have to be like doing this right now. And so I feel like half of us are just like stressed out of our minds. And then the other half are like, la-di-da. I mean, they're stressful too. They're also having a stressful semester. I'll give it to them. And they're going to have to go through this too later in the semester, which I feel really bad about. But I just feel like today I was like, nobody talked to me because I have to get this done. Like, I have to get this done. Like, oh my gosh, it's literally due tonight at midnight. So I've been working my butt off, working on this from dawn until dusk. Y'all saw me at dawn. Now y'all are about to see me at dusk finishing this case study. There's maybe only been like 2 to 3 hours of this day where I haven't been working on it, which is like kind of sickening to think about, especially because I was working on it all day yesterday. And oh, not to mention the past 2 weeks, if you can't tell, I'm a little bit upset that we don't have more time on this assignment, but hey, you just got to get it done when you got to get it done. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting it done. I didn't get to go to the gym this morning, which was very sad, but I'm getting it done, so it's okay. But besides that, I can't even tell you how classes went because I didn't do anything. I didn't pay attention in class. I didn't take my notes during class. I set my little iPad up to record the lecture. And besides that, I sat and I'm doing exactly what you're looking at right now. You're my computer POV. Yep, this is what I was doing all day. So you didn't miss much at all. I did this in my bed this morning. I did this during my classes. I did this during tutoring. And now I'm about to go home and hopefully finish it. So, yes. Okay, I'm walking across the quad to go back to my apartment, and it is like the most gorgeous day ever. Like, Denny Chimes looks stunning behind the sun, and just looking at all the buildings, like walking across the quad is genuinely one of my favorite things because it's just, I don't know, I love being so close to grass. I hate living in an apartment without like a backyard or anything, and it's just so beautiful, and I love the walk. It's like a mile home, but hey, I'm up for it. For those of y'all who are not from here, here is a better angle of beautiful Denny Chimes. And what a coincidence, if you look just to your right, you will see our gorgeous Gorgas library, which is so beautiful, named after Amelia Gorgas. And it's stunning. It looks like some people are playing like cosplay or like, I don't remember what it's called when you have like the big fake swords. And the absolute best part of my view is getting to walk by Bryant-Denny Stadium, literally the best place on campus. Or at least on a game day, it's the best place on campus. And oh my gosh, I'm excited for this weekend. This weekend we have the Vanderbilt game, which is not supposed to be a big game. But because of what happened last year, don't even want to talk about them beating us. Game day is literally coming on Saturday. So I think I might go because, I mean, you'll never meet a bigger Bama football fan than me. You probably would, but I'm really excited about it.
It is about 5:45 right now, so I'm running a little bit late. I need to be there by 6:30, but I'm hoping that since it's so early, there wasn't going to be traffic. But y'all, I mean, call me naive. There's a lot of people driving out here at 5:45, but that is okay. I am just going to be safe and take my time, and yeah, I got a drive ahead of me. I was going to listen to a lecture or a podcast or something, but I didn't really get that queued up in time. So instead, I'm just going to be jamming to music. Good morning, everyone. Now that you can actually see me, it's Tuesday, which means it's a rotation day. And yes, I am driving. I'm going to my hospital right now. And actually, it's kind of crazy because this is the last week of my first round of clinical rotations. I'll have another round in the spring. But as for the fall, I mean, this is it. Like, this is literally my last week, which is insane. And so the case study that I was working on yesterday, I will present in like PowerPoint presentation form to all of my preceptors and also my professor at my hospital later this week. But today I just get to kind of like be a fake dietitian for a day. It's kind of awesome because like when I started, obviously I did not know anything. Like I was just learning. I didn't know how to chart. I didn't know anything. And so I spent the last 6 weeks learning, and now this week I get to actually be kind of competent, and I actually get to help my preceptors, which is really cool because they obviously help me so much. And so I just feel like it's really great that I get to like actually take patients for them, and make their work go by a little bit faster, which is awesome. So that's what I'm doing now. I had a quick breakfast this morning, and yeah, I am exhausted. I turned in my case study at 11 p.m. last night, and guys, good thing I read over it because there were so many grammar errors, and those get you like 2 points off per error. So hopefully I got all of them. I think it'll be good, but it is a beautiful morning. The air feels phenomenal, and when I turn off the camera, I'm probably going to roll down the windows because I love driving fast with my windows down. That's like my favorite thing. And I don't know, I'm having a good morning, and it's definitely helping how beautiful it is outside. So yeah, let's go have an awesome day at the hospital. All right, so let's actually look at what I do as a dietetic intern in a day. So we always start our day by going ahead and seeing which patients we actually have to see that day. And this is basically determined by when we were actually consulted to see them, and what day they're due after they were consulted for. So for example, people who are at risk for malnutrition or who have pressure injuries are going to need to be seen sooner than some other patients. So we go and we look at all of those people that we're going to have to see, and then we actually go through their chart and we write down all of the pertinent information about them that we're going to need to know when we actually go into the room, and so we can just have a better idea in general about what's going on with them and how we can help before we actually see them and have a conversation with them. And to do this, I would basically take my sheet that I was actually going to take to rounds with me when I go to talk to all the nurses and the doctors. I would take that sheet of paper, and then I would write out for each patient what their past medical history was, why they're actually being admitted to the hospital right now, and then other things like their anthropometric measurements, and any other details that I would need to know off of the top of my hand, or like what supplements they've taken in the past, anything that I see that's pertinent in their actual chart that I gathered this morning. And like I just mentioned, after I gather on all the patients I'm going to see, that is when I go ahead and I go up to rounds to go around with the nurses. It's kind of like what you see on Grey's Anatomy, but a little bit more low-key, where they go from room to room and they talk about each patient, what's going on with them, the updates that happened last night, and anything that might not be updated in the chart now from what I just looked at downstairs. So I talk to all the nurses, I get all the information that I need from them, and then while I'm up there on the floor, I go and actually speak to each of the patients, and I talk to them about how they've been eating recently, and I can do a nutrition focused physical exam, and anything that I need to do to determine if they have malnutrition or if they have any other pertinent nutrition diagnoses that I need to know, so that I can get them the correct supplements or even give them enteral or parenteral nutrition based on the issues that they have. After going and speaking with all the patients, then it's actually time to come back down and eat lunch. Now, this would vary based on like what time I get there in the morning. When I get there super early, sometimes I have time to go ahead and start charting before I eat lunch, but usually I'll come down, I'll eat lunch, and today I actually had a webinar scheduled that I had to be on for one of my classes. It's what I would do for continued education hours if I was a real dietitian, but since I'm still just in training, it's just for one of my classes. So I sat on that, and it was some really interesting
nursing information. And then after that, I spent the afternoon actually charting on all the patients that I saw, which really takes up the most amount of time during the day, is really just writing down all the things that you gathered on that morning and what you actually talked to the patient about. So in the chart, we might put things like why we're seeing them, whether it's an initial assessment or a follow-up, and then we would talk about if we're giving them a diagnosis or the initial nutrition problems that are actually wrong with them, and what we're going to do about it, what supplements, how many times a day they need those supplements, and anything specific like that that the nurses, doctors, or other people on the healthcare team would actually need to know. And then I would end the note by talking about what I wanted to monitor and evaluate for the patient, what I wanted to keep my eye on about them, and then I would go ahead and submit that so that the next person that saw that patient, whenever they went to follow up with them, could see everything that I saw with the patient, everything that I had to say, and they can know all the information, all the updated information. And that's basically what I do in a day. It's mostly charting. It is a lot of going up and down to see patients, especially if it's a busy day, or if some people are down at x-ray or getting a procedure, I would have to go back up later. But that is essentially what I do in a day. And honestly, I have really loved clinical so much. The actual every single day business of going to the hospital and working as if I'm an actual dietitian has been the time of my life, and I have enjoyed it so much. The only thing that's made it a little bit stressful, which I'll talk about in a minute, is actually the workload on top of it with our classes and the case studies on top of it. But the actual being clinical, being there, typing on the computer, seeing patients has been absolutely awesome, and I've loved every second of it. Well, Tuesday is done and I am exhausted, tired, and ready to go home.
All right, guys, I'm back in the car and just letting myself have a little cry. It's a hard week. My grandma is actually in the hospital right now, so I just went and saw her because she's at this hospital here. So that's really lucky that I get to, be able to go and see her. But I'm just, I don't know, I'm emotionally and physically and mentally just tired. And I feel like today I almost kind of hit my breaking point because this semester there's just a lot of work that's all so quick paced and so just stacked on top of each other. And I know this is supposed to be the hardest year of school. I know it is because this is when I'm having my clinicals. I'm doing all of my master's classes. I'm aware that this year is supposed to be really difficult, but it's just proving to be maybe a little bit more difficult than I had thought. And then on top of that, just family stuff and trying to also, I think one of the hardest things has been trying to stay active while also doing these classes, because usually during the school year I plan out my week very meticulously, and usually if I have to rearrange something or if I have to do schoolwork at a different time during the day, the only thing that can physically go is my time to work out and go to the gym. And this semester I really didn't want to do that because I just feel like I do better when I'm actively being active and I feel good about myself. And it's just hard when this week I'm not going to be able to run or work out probably at all. And I don't know, I'm just I'm exhausted and I'm not getting enough sleep because I'm just trying to get these assignments done while also doing a job 3 times a week or 3 days a week. And I say job because I'm not getting paid to do this. My actual job, I don't even get paid that much, and I can only do that for 8 hours a week. That's literally the maximum amount of other time that I have, that I'm not having to do homework. And basically I feel every day I literally wake up, I exercise, I go to classes or I go to clinicals, I go to work, and then I get home and I go to sleep. And there's no time or room for anything else, it feels like. But that's kind of, again, how this year is supposed to be, and I'm really trying not to wish it away. I'm really not trying to wish and say oh, I wish it would be over, I can't wait for it to be over, because I do want to enjoy my last year of being in college, especially since I have this extra year being in my master's program. But it's just kind of difficult, and I'm surviving, and I don't know. But you know what? It's okay. We're doing it. We're doing the dang thing. And I'm done today. Now, all I have to do is go home, make dinner for myself, and then create an entire PowerPoint presentation, submit a video presentation, and submit my final draft of a research project. So, like, guys, I can't do this. I can't, like, I can and I will because I have to. But, like, in every other sense of the meaning, I can't do this. Anyways, I'll end my mental breakdown here.
And I'm not kidding, y'all. This is the face of a trooper because I went home and I got all that stuff done. What you're about to see is me dressed up in business casual in my kitchen at 10:30 p.m., 11 p.m., practicing over and over again to get this little script that I had to have memorized for our food service class. Hi, how are you doing today? My name is Victoria Thompson and I work in the food and nutrition department, and I'm actually really from production to consumption, from raising livestock to the solution that I'm tell you a little bit about why decreasing our meat consumption can actually lessen our environmental impact, as well as create a little bit more room in the budget for other things here at the hospital. And then I finished this presentation that I would give later this week to not only my professor, but also all of my preceptor dietitians, all in the same room. It was a 25-minute presentation that I poured my heart and soul into, and I did that later in the week. But y'all, after this Tuesday, I literally lost the will. Like, I could not film anything. I was so exhausted, I was so tired, and I was just over it. But this is what my thing ended up looking like, and I feel like the presentation went really well, so I was happy with it. And gosh, I was so excited for the weekend when college game day was coming. Thank God, because Lord knows I needed a break and I needed to have some fun. Okay guys, they're setting up for game day because game day, like I said, is coming to Tuscaloosa and it's going to be Vanderbilt. So this is literally where the whole stage is going to be, and they're setting up all the tents for tailgating. So that's what all these like tables are for, and like all these like tent things are going to be all for Saturday. And on Saturday, this quad will be absolutely filled with tents.
Today, this guy, and this guy. I'm gonna have you guys vote on who you think is the best dressed out of these three. Let's first introduce our contestants. Who are you? Pretty solid. What about you?
Or have you buried, is that like a buried ball type thing?
I think in everything you do, you have to learn from your experiences. Obviously, the
Absolutely delightful. So was Miss Ocean Sushi. Oh my God. This has been great. And the place is filled. This is.
Alright y'all, college game day was so fun and the actual game did not disappoint. Literally, we shut them down in the second half. It was awesome. I had such a good time, and it was really the relief that I need after such a hard, stressful, sad week. I mean, I really felt like, okay, everything is fine now, and I had a great time because it's also important to have fun and have joy. I hope this video was helpful for y'all and that you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more or more specific into what my actual like day of classes looks like, let me know and I will do that for y'all. And if you want to see more vlogs of football games, also let me know that too. Alright, I love y'all. Have a great rest of your week. Bye!